Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be exploring all the tech trends set to redefine 2025 and beyond. Get ready for some seriously mind-blowing stuff like flying taxis AI that pushes creative boundaries, and even energy solutions inspired by the sun itself.
Yeah, the future of tech is looking pretty wild right now.
It really is. And to help us navigate this crazy, exciting landscape, we've got an awesome lineup of sources. We're talking Google's 2025 AI business trend predictions, MIT technology reviews picks for breakthrough technologies, and Gartner's top 10 strategic tech trends.
Sounds like we've got a pretty solid roadmap for our deep dive today.
Absolutely. So buckle up because we're diving headfirst into the future. And speaking of the future, let's talk about artificial intelligence. AI is everywhere these days, but what I find really fascinating is how it's evolving beyond just simple automation.
Right, it's not just about replacing human tasks anymore. AI is becoming way more versatile and sophisticated.
Okay, so give me the rundown. What kind of evolution are we talking about?
Well, for starters, Google's predicting the rise of what they call multimodal AI. Basically, instead of just analyzing text, this AI will be able to process images, audio, and even video.
Well, hold on. So it's like AI is developing a whole new set of senses.
And that means it can get way more nuanced insights and have much more intuitive interactions with us humans. Imagine financial algorithms that can understand market sentiment just from watching video cues.
That's wild. Or what about manufacturers using AI to predict equipment failures based on like the tiniest sounds?
Yeah, exactly. The possibilities are pretty insane.
But all this extra AI power must come with some new challenges too, right?
Oh, definitely. Security, for example, becomes even more crucial as AI gets smarter. In fact, Google actually predicts an AI arms race in cybersecurity.
So basically, hackers and defenders both using AI to try and outsmart each other.
Pretty much. And the potential for super sophisticated attacks is a bit scary, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that every tech advancement comes with its own set of hurdles we got to overcome. So what other AI trends are on Google's radar?
Well, they're also highlighting the rise of AI agents.
AI agents. What exactly are those?
Think of them like your super-powered virtual assistants of the future. They'll go way beyond just scheduling meetings. They'll manage complex workflows, personalize customer experiences, even partner with humans on creative tasks.
Oh, so they're not just assistants. They're like AI coworkers.
You could say that. Imagine AI seamlessly handling your customer support across every platform or brainstorming marketing campaigns alongside your team.
That's pretty mind-blowing. It makes you wonder what roles will even be left for us humans if AI can do all that. But before we get too carried away and hand over the reins to our AI overlords, let's bring things back down to earth for a sec. What about some more practical AI applications, like improvements to the way we search for information?
That's another area Google sees AI revolutionizing. They're talking about internal company search engines, but on a whole new level. Instead of just relying on keywords, you'll be able to search using images, audio, video, or even just ask a question in natural language.
Oh, wow. So like if I'm looking for a specific product design, I could just show the AI a picture.
Or imagine searching your company's entire knowledge base just by having a conversation with the AI.
Okay, that's pretty cool. It would definitely save me a ton of time hunting down information.
So, with all this talk about AI's potential, I'm curious, who are the companies actually leading the charge on these advancements?
It's a really diverse landscape, actually. You've got the big tech giants, but also a ton of innovative startups, all pushing the boundaries of what's possible. When it comes to AI as a creative partner specifically, some of the major players are OpenAI, DeepMind, Microsoft, and Meta.
Okay, so OpenAI, I know them. They're the ones behind those crazy impressive GPT language models, right?
Yep, that's them. They're all about generative AI, basically, AI that can create new content.
Right. And what about DeepMind?
DeepMind is part of Alphabet, and they're doing some seriously groundbreaking work in healthcare protein folding and advanced AI capabilities.
I've heard of their AlphaGo and AlphaFold projects. They're pretty legendary in the AI world. And then you've got Microsoft, who are heavily investing in AI for their cloud services, Azure AI, and products like GitHub Copilot, which is an AI-powered coding assistant.
Right, and they've also got that partnership with OpenAI, so they're
Yeah.
really doubling down on AI.
And then, of course, there's Meta, formerly Facebook. They've got massive AI research efforts going on in areas like computer vision, natural language processing, and responsible AI frameworks.
Wow, it's like a who's who of the tech world, all trying to get a piece of the AI pie. It really feels like we're on the verge of a major transformation. But before we get too lost in the world of AI, I want to switch gears and talk about another mind-blowing technology that's been popping up in our sources, something that could totally redefine what a computer even is.
You're talking about quantum computing, right?
Right.
Now, this is where things get truly mind-bending. Imagine a computer so powerful it can solve problems that would take regular computers billions of years in just minutes.
Okay, you've officially got my attention. What kind of sorcery is this?
It's not sorcery, it's quantum mechanics. This tech leverages the crazy principles of the quantum world to achieve just insane processing power. Instead of bits, which can only be a 0 or a 1, quantum computers use qubits, which can be both 0 and 1 simultaneously.
They could be both at the same time. My brain's already starting to hurt.
I know it's a lot to wrap your head around, but think of it like a coin spinning in the air. Before it lands, it's both heads and tails at the same time. That's kind of what's happened with qubits, allowing them to explore tons of possibilities all at once. And that massive parallel processing power is what makes quantum computers so ridiculously fast.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it, and yeah, it's definitely mind-blowing. So what does all this mean for the real world? What kind of problems can these quantum computers actually solve?
The possibilities are pretty much endless. Think drug discovery, logistics, optimization, climate modeling. Quantum computers could design life-saving meds in a fraction of the time, optimize global supply chains to minimize waste, or create super-accurate climate models to help us tackle climate change.
Wow, those are some seriously high-stakes applications.
Mhm.
But who are the players making this quantum revolution happen?
Well, IBM is a major player. They're leading the charge in quantum hardware and software. They even provide public access to cloud-based quantum computers through their IBM Quantum program. So researchers and developers all over the world can use this groundbreaking technology.
That's awesome. And what about Google? Are they in the quantum game too?
Oh yeah, Google Quantum AI is another big name. They're known for their Sycamore processor and their relentless pursuit of quantum supremacy.
Quantum supremacy. What's that?
Basically, it's the point where a quantum computer can do something that no regular computer could ever do, even if it ran for billions of years.
So it's like the ultimate quantum flex.
Pretty much.
Sounds like these tech giants are in a full-blown quantum race. Are there any smaller companies making waves in this field?
Yeah, definitely. There are some awesome startups like IonQ who are focusing on trapped ion technology. They're working on making quantum computers more accessible for businesses so they can drive a whole new wave of innovation.
It's incredible to think that we might be on the edge of a computing revolution, as big as the jump from the abacus to the modern computer.
It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? It really is mind-blowing. But hey, while AI and quantum computing are grabbing all the headlines, there's a whole bunch of other cool stuff happening in the world of computing, too.
Okay, so what else is cooking in the tech kitchen?
Well, Gartner's been talking a lot about this concept they call ambient invisible intelligence.
Ambient invisible intelligence. Okay, sounds both intriguing and a little creepy. What is that exactly?
Basically, it's all about technology being so seamlessly integrated into our surroundings that it's almost invisible, but it's constantly working in the background to enhance our experiences.
So it's like our environment becomes intelligent and responsive to our needs without us even having to think about it.
Exactly. Imagine a world with tons of low-cost sensors everywhere, providing real-time tracking and analysis, optimizing efficiency, even allowing objects to report their own history and properties.
Whoa, okay, that's pretty wild. But I gotta ask, doesn't this raise some serious privacy concerns? I mean, do we really want to be constantly monitored by invisible sensors?
You're absolutely right. Privacy is a huge issue with ambient intelligence. It's going to be super important for developers and providers to be totally transparent about data collection and usage and make sure users have control over their information.
Yeah, it's a tricky balance for sure.
Yeah.
We want to harness the power of this tech, but we also got to protect our privacy.
Yeah.
So what other computing trends are on Gartner's radar?
Another big one is energy efficiency, which makes sense given the whole climate change situation. Gartner's predicting a big shift towards what they call energy efficient computing, which is all about reducing the environmental impact of our digital lives.
So like making our computers and devices use less energy.
Yep. That means smarter architectures, more efficient code, and algorithms and hardware specifically designed to be energy efficient.
And of course, powering those systems with renewable energy is important too.
Absolutely. It's all about making computing sustainable, not just for the planet, but for the future of tech itself.
Right. Because we can't just keep developing more and more powerful computers without thinking about the energy they consume and the waste they produce.
Exactly. And then there's this other cool concept Gartner's talking about called hybrid computing.
Hybrid computing. Okay, I'm intrigued. What's that all about?
It's basically about combining different types of computing mechanisms to solve problems more effectively. Kind of like assembling a team of specialists, each with their unique strengths, to tackle a big, complex project.
So, like combining the raw power of traditional computers with the specialized abilities of AI or even quantum computing.
Exactly. That could lead to some crazy breakthroughs like AI systems that can overcome their current limitations, businesses that are highly automated and super efficient, or even the potential to augment human capabilities in ways we can't even imagine yet.
Whoa, that's mind-blowing. So it sounds like the future of computing isn't about one single technology taking over, but more about a synergistic blend of different approaches all working together.
Exactly. It's about finding the right tool for the job, and sometimes the best tool is a combination of different technologies. And this kind of leads us to another fascinating aspect of the future tech landscape, the increasingly blurred lines between the physical and digital worlds.
Okay, now you're talking my language. I'm all about that blurring of reality. So where do we start?
Well, one area where this is happening in a big way is spatial computing.
Spatial computing. That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. What is that exactly?
Think of it as using technology to create immersive experiences that blend the real world with the digital world. AR and VR are big parts of spatial computing. Imagine interactive games where the game world spills into your living room, educational programs that transport you to ancient Rome, or shopping experiences that let you try on clothes virtually without even leaving your house.
Yeah, I've messed around with some AR apps on my phone, but that's mostly been for fun. Are there any serious real-world applications for this stuff?
Oh, tons. Spatial computing is already being used in healthcare, retail, and manufacturing. Surgeons are using AR headsets to see patient data superimposed on their field of vision during surgery. Retailers are using VR to create immersive shopping experiences. And manufacturers are using AR to guide workers through complex assembly tasks.
Okay, so it's not just about fun and games then. It sounds like spatial computing has the potential to seriously change the way we work, learn, and even just experience the world around us.
It totally does. And then you've got robotics, which is another key part of this blended physical digital future. Gartner's predicting the rise of what they call polyfunctional robots, basically robots that can do multiple tasks and adapt to changing environments.
So these robots aren't limited to just one job. They can collaborate with humans, help out with a bunch of different tasks, and even learn and adapt on the fly.
They're going to be way more versatile and intelligent than the robots we have today.
That's pretty amazing, but also a little unnerving. Are we really ready for a world where robots are working alongside us in so many different roles?
I get why you'd say that. It's definitely a big change, and it's going to raise some important questions about job displacement and the future of work. But it also presents a huge opportunity to rethink how we work, create new types of jobs, and free up humans from dangerous or repetitive tasks.
It's definitely a double-edged sword with both potential benefits and challenges. But before we get too deep into the whole robots taking over the world scenario, I want to talk about something a bit more personal. Something that could literally enhance our brains and our cognitive abilities.
You're talking about neurological enhancement, right? This is where things get really wild and maybe even a little scary. We're talking about technologies that can read and decode brain activity, leading to improved cognitive abilities, personalized education, and even enhanced safety measures.
Well, hold on. You're saying we could potentially boost our brain power with technology. That sounds both incredible and terrifying.
It's definitely a powerful concept, and it's moving from science fiction to reality pretty quickly. Imagine technologies that could help people with cognitive impairments personalize learning to optimize brain function, or even create safety systems that respond to your brain signals.
Okay, I can see how that could be beneficial, but I can't help but think about the downsides too. What about privacy? Could someone hack into our brains and steal our thoughts? And what about the ethical implications of messing with our cognitive abilities?
Those are really important questions. And the ethical considerations around neurological enhancement are huge. It's crucial that we develop and use these technologies responsibly with safeguards in place to protect privacy, security, and equitable access.
Yeah. Easily create a divide between the haves and have-nots if only certain people can afford to enhance their brains.
You're absolutely right. It's a powerful technology with the potential to transform lives in amazing ways, but we need to proceed carefully and thoughtfully.
Okay, so we've covered AI, quantum computing, spatial computing, advanced robotics, and now even neurological enhancement. It's a lot to process.
It is. But it's also incredibly exciting to think about all the possibilities these technologies hold.
I'm definitely feeling a bit overwhelmed, but also super inspired. It's clear that the future is going to be a wild ride, but it's also a future that we have the power to shape.
I completely agree. And that's what makes these deep dives so awesome. It's not just about understanding what's coming, it's about engaging with the future, asking the tough questions, and making sure we're using these powerful tools to create a better world.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a chance to catch your breath because we're about to wrap up our epic journey into the future of tech.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? From the mind-bending world of quantum computing to the blurring of realities with spatial computing, it's been quite a ride.
It really has. But we've still got a few more stops on our tech tour. I think it's time we circle back to something we touched on earlier, something with the power to revolutionize everything from healthcare and agriculture to environmental sustainability.
You're talking about synthetic biology, right? The field where biology meets engineering.
That's the one. It's like we're taking the principles of engineering and applying them to the very building blocks of life.
Exactly. Synthetic biology is all about understanding and manipulating the fundamental components of living organisms to design and create solutions for a wide range of challenges.
So it's like we're hacking the code of life.
In a way, yeah. We're using our knowledge of biology to engineer organisms with specific traits and capabilities.
It's both incredibly exciting and a little daunting to think about the possibilities. But what are some of the specific advancements in synthetic biology that we should be paying attention to?
One area that's generating a ton of buzz is gene editing. Technologies like CRISPR have made it.
Didn't scientists use it to edit the genes of mosquitoes to prevent the spread of malaria?
That's right. And that's just one example. CRISPR and other gene editing tools have the potential to transform healthcare, agriculture, conservation, you name it.
So like we could edit the genes of crops to make them more resistant to pests or diseases or engineer bacteria to clean up pollution.
Exactly. The applications are mind-boggling. But of course, with such powerful tools come big responsibilities.
Right, because what about unintended consequences? Like, could we accidentally create some kind of superbug or disrupt ecosystems in ways we don't fully understand?
Those are definitely valid concerns, and it's crucial that we approach gene editing with extreme caution and a deep understanding of the potential risks. We need rigorous testing and regulation and ongoing ethical discussions to make sure these technologies are used responsibly.
It's a powerful tool that requires a responsible hand. Speaking of powerful tools, I want to shift gears to another game changer that we mentioned earlier, fusion energy.
Ah, yes, fusion energy, the holy grail of clean energy.
Same process that powers the sun, right?
Mm.
Clean, safe, practically limitless energy with minimal waste products. It sounds almost too good to be true.
It does sound amazing, doesn't it? And while there are still major technical hurdles to overcome, progress is being made.
So it's not just a sci-fi fantasy. There's a real chance that fusion energy could become a practical solution to our energy needs in the not-too-distant future.
There is. And the potential benefits are enormous. Clean, sustainable energy for generations to come, helping to combat climate change, reduce our reliance on fossil fuels.
Okay, I'm officially adding Witness the Dawn of Fusion Energy to my bucket list. But for now, let's bring things back down to earth, literally, and talk about a technology that's a little closer to becoming a reality. Those electric flying taxis or eVTOLs that we discussed earlier.
Right. The eVTOL industry is really starting to take off. No pun intended.
Uh-huh. I see what you did there. But seriously, are these things actually going to become a common sight in our cities anytime soon?
It's looking more and more likely. Companies all over the world are developing and testing eVTOLs, and some are even starting to get regulatory approval for commercial flights.
Wow, so they're not just a cool concept anymore, they're actually happening.
They are. And the potential benefits are huge. They could revolutionize urban transportation, reduce traffic congestion, cut down on emissions, and make our commutes way faster and more efficient.
Imagine flying over rush hour traffic instead of being stuck in it. Sign me up. But what about safety? I mean, are these things actually safe for passengers and for people on the ground?
Safety is the top priority for eVTOL developers. They're designing these aircraft with multiple redundancies and safety features and putting them through rigorous testing and certification processes.
Okay, that's good to hear. But what about noise? Helicopters are super loud. Are these eVTOLs going to be just as noisy?
Actually, one of the big advantages of eVTOLs is that they're way quieter than helicopters. They use electric motors instead of combustion engines, so they produce a lot less noise pollution.
Okay, so they're safe, quiet, and environmentally friendly. It sounds like they could be a real game changer for urban transportation.
They could be. It's definitely a technology to watch in the coming years.
So we've covered synthetic biology, fusion energy, and even flying taxis. Is there anything else we need to touch on before we wrap up our deep dive into the future?
Throughout our conversation, we've been talking about all these incredible advancements and the amazing things they could do. But I think it's important to remember that technology is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Right? It all comes down to how we choose to develop and use these technologies.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations, to think critically about the potential consequences of these technologies, and to make sure we're using them in a way that benefits humanity and the planet as a whole.
I couldn't agree more. It's not just about creating cool new gadgets. It's about shaping a future where technology empowers us, connects us, and helps us build a better world.
Well said.
Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the future tech landscape. We've explored some truly mind-blowing stuff today, from AI and quantum computing to gene editing and flying taxis, and it's clear that the future is going to be a wild ride.
It certainly is.
But it's also a future full of possibilities. And it's up to us to make sure we're using these powerful technologies to create a future that we can all be proud of. So as we sign off, I just want to say thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. And remember, the future is in our hands. Let's make it a good one.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode and found it valuable. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us reach more amazing listeners like you. Thanks again for your support, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.